Whoop, thank you. So back in 2018, Microsoft launched an app that they call Soundscape. And the app was aimed to give people who are blind or visually impaired a greater awareness of their surroundings by offering 3D cues. Okay, so this app is free. It's downloadable on the App Store through the for those of you who know how to do that. Now, the one important thing that I need to stress here is that the app does not replace a guide dog or a cane. It's really about enriching our perception of our surroundings. I'll give you a perfect example. I don't know, I know there's one particular cafe that I like, and for the life of me, it was in like a series of stores, and for the life of me, I couldn't find the door. So this would be a perfect app to assist me in finding my favorite cafe, and then of course finding the door. So first, I just want to thank all of you mentors and everybody that's continuing learning. Thank you for participating and challenging us and asking us all kinds of questions. Please continue to offer us information about the things that you would like to see and or know about so that we can create enriched workshops really geared towards you. So I just want to thank everybody for coming. In a few minutes, Mary Abby is going to take over and she's going to put people on mute, but she's going to give you the instructions on how to unmute. Take it away, Mary Abby.
Okie dokie. So I'm going to mute you all. And Gloria, I think it might mute you as well. So feel free to unmute when needed. To unmute, if you are on a telephone, you can press *6 and it will unmute you if you have a question or comment you want to make. If you are on a computer, a Windows computer, you can make sure that the Zoom window is up on your screen and press Alt-A to unmute yourself or mute yourself, depending on the case. There you go. Okay. Just make sure that you guys can hear me. Okay, yes, you can hear me. Awesome. So thanks for coming today. We are going to explain a little bit about what Soundscape is in the beginning. So if my PowerPoint would cooperate with me, sorry about that. Here we go. So Soundscape is an application that is part of Microsoft's research project. So it's an ongoing and developing application. It's a navigational app that uses what they call 3D audio cues to help users build an audio map of the surroundings around them. So instead of showing you the map on your phone screen, it actually plays, it gives you cues in a 3D format. So you should be wearing headphones in both ears, and that will allow you to hear where different things are in relation to your surroundings. So if, for example, the cafe you're looking for is going to be coming up on your left-hand side, you will hear it coming up on your left-hand side. And we'll go into that a little bit more in just a minute. So this is just an overview. One of its purposes is to help users feel more comfortable when making navigational choices and exploring unfamiliar areas. So it's really meant to help you explore areas and understand the location of streets and buildings in relation to where you are. It provides information about your surroundings with synthesized binaural audio. This is from Microsoft's description, which creates the effect of 3D sound. Like I said, so that means if you are coming down the street and you hear the Nike store coming up on your right-hand side, it will actually sound, the announcement of the Nike store will come up and you'll hear it in your right ear. As you walk, in addition, as you walk, the intersection you are coming across will be announced as well as the direction of each street. So for example, as you're walking down the street, it may say, Jefferson Boulevard goes left. Potter Lane going ahead, and then Jefferson Boulevard continues right. So it tells you what directions the street you're coming across are going in, which can be very helpful, especially if you're not sure of the streets you're walking upon. It may also announce crosswalks, but that's not as reliable in my experience. It does announce when you're coming across, coming near a crosswalk, whether that be mid-block or not. But it has been doing a pretty decent job of announcing where crosswalks are. You can have it run in the background, so you can keep Soundscape open while you use something like Google Maps or Apple Maps or whatever your favorite navigational app is. And that's really important to know because it does not give you turn-by-turn directions. So if you want turn-by-turn directions and you want it to announce the street names that you're coming across, that's when you would put Soundscape on, and you would also put something like Google Maps or Apple Maps on as well. So you could have both running at the same time. Your phone can actually be held in your hand and put in your pocket, and it tracks the movement, your movement, and your activity using some sensors in your phone. And that is done using, I think, the GPS sensor, the motion sensors, all that stuff. So you can actually lock your screen and put it in your pocket and just walk. And it works perfectly fine. You don't have to keep it in your hand. It makes it great for if you have grocery bags and a cane and all that kind of stuff. You can also set things called beacons, which I will describe shortly. Beacons are kind of like an auditory mark that you can listen for and follow, and I'll explain that shortly. And so this app runs on iPhones only. They haven't really quite made it to Android yet. It runs on the original iPhone SE. So if you recall, that's the really very, very small iPhone that's kind of got the squarish body. iPhone 6S and above. So if you have a 6S or above, you will be able to run this app. It is best used, this app is best used with Bluetooth headphones, wired headphones, and actually beyond those two, I would say it would be much better to use what they call bone conduction headphones. And bone conduction headphones are a set of headphones that use the bones around your ears to kind of they use the vibrations of the sound, and it conducts those through your bones, and you can hear everything in the headphones, but you can also have both ears open to the traffic around you. You can still hear all your surroundings while the sound from the headphones is coming through, and you can hear both at the same time. So some people like that because it allows you to be aware of your surroundings. It doesn't block the sounds of traffic, but you can also still hear what's going on your phone. So those are often called bone conduction headphones. And we can talk more about that if you're looking to get some. If anyone has any questions so far, please let me know. And if anyone also has experience with bone conduction headphones, feel free to share and let us know how you find it. I have a pair myself and I really enjoy them. I can hear all the traffic around me and make sure that I'm safe while also getting directions from my phone. So that's really helpful.
Mary.
Any questions?
Mary.
Hi, John.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I got a question for you.
Yes.
As you said, the bone headphones, do those come wireless or do those have a cord?
Oh, great question, John. They are Bluetooth.
Oh, they are Bluetooth.
Yes,
okay.
they are Bluetooth.
Is there one better than another one? If you can give us the name of one of the best ones.
So I really enjoy oh my gosh, the name is going to slip my mind. Gloria, what's the name of the ones we have here?
Trex?
The
Aftershocks.
Aftershocks makes really good bone conduction headphones. That's what they specialize in. They have many different types. I can send you a link to the ones that I have. I will keep in mind that they are in the triple digits. Not too high up there, but in the triple digits and price wise. But they have really a good variety of different ones. So I can certainly send out information on which ones that they have that you might find useful, John.
I would appreciate that.
Yes.
And my second question is, I have a bunch of little beacons.
Mm-hmm.
The noise. All right. If I delete all of those and start from scratch. All I have to do is delete them and start from the beginning and then add whichever ones I want, correct?
Correct, yep. And yeah, and for those who don't know much about beacons yet, we'll go into that just in a minute. But yes, John, that's correct. You can delete them and start from scratch.
I'm gonna mute myself again. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, no problem. Thank you, John, for the questions. All right. So John was just talking about beacons, and so we'll go into what beacons are just now. So a beacon is an audible tracker that plays a constant tone. And these are not any physical things you have to buy. They're not anything you have to do. You know, some people say, "Oh, I don't have beacons. How do I get beacons?" They actually use the GPS to set beacons. So let me explain a little more. You can choose a specific location and set a beacon for it. When you are facing this location, a constant chiming sound will play. So let's say you know you want to go to a specific Dunkin' Donuts. Then you can stand in front of the Dunkin' Donuts door, and on your Soundscape app, you can create a beacon in the app, and it will mark that spot virtually or using the GPS. It will mark that spot.
Join the meeting.
And the next time that you want to go to that Dunkin' Donuts store, you can follow that sound and it will lead you directly to wherever you marked the beacon for. So I'll continue to explain. If the location is to your left or right, the chime or the beacon chime will sound in that direction. You can also point the top of your phone in different directions and listen to the beacon in relation to that wherever you're facing. So that means if you were walking down the street and you had to find the Dunkin' Donuts store, like I was saying, and you weren't sure, you know, if it was behind you, to your left, to your right, you could stop and keep in mind your orientation. And you could point your phone in different directions and listen to where the beacon is in relation to where your phone is pointing. So if you point your phone to your left, but the Dunkin' Donuts store is on your right, the sound of the beacon is going to move over so you can hear that it's going to be on your right side. So it's a bit of an interesting concept. If anyone has questions about beacons, please let us know. I will also be showing a video at the end of this presentation, and it may answer some questions you have about beacons. Okay, and then we are going to talk about markers, which are a little bit different than beacons. Markers are like bookmarks. You can add a marker to any location and then navigate to this marker later. Using a beacon, and that's what you would use is a combination of markers and beacons. So an example of this is you are at a park and have chosen a specific picnic table for the day. You can stand by the picnic table and add that specific spot where you're standing as a marker, and you will be able to navigate back to that marker should you move away from it throughout the day. Another case is if you find that your navigation app, such as Google Maps or Apple Maps, is not directing you to the right building, or you want to be directed to a specific point, maybe a specific door. You can create a marker when you're standing at that point, and the next time you need to get there, you can follow that marker and get back to that point that you marked. Any questions? Okay. So now we're going to talk a little bit about street preview, and this one's a very interesting concept, so I will be showing you a little screen sharing after this slide. So a street preview is from the safety, of your home. You can put an address or look for a specific location, and this puts you virtually at the area. So you're not actually going to be there. You can sit in your bed, sit at your desk, and you can put in an address, for example, 43 Jefferson Boulevard, and you will virtually be taken there. So then you can physically turn in a circle in your chair, stand in a circle and turn around. with your phone held in front of you, and Soundscape will announce what would be in that direction if you were actually at that place. You can also press the go button, and Soundscape will virtually walk you along in that direction as if you were actually at that place and walking. It will stop you at the next intersection and announce the street names. You can turn to face the next direction you'd like to take and then hit go again, and it will walk you down that direction as well. So this can be used to help you map and explore a new area that you haven't been to before. I actually have a friend who is moving to a new, actually a new state. Well, he lives in Canada, so province, I guess. And he has never been to his new neighborhood before, besides to look at the place he's moving to. And he was actually able to use Soundscape to map out all the streets around his new living location by virtually walking around using Soundscape. So he was doing it from his old location, and he was actually able to use Soundscape to map out his new living situation. So I actually think this is an interesting concept, and because it's kind of hard to explain in this without showing it to you, I'm going to show you a little screen share of me virtually walking along Jefferson Boulevard. So let's see. I did this. I took this screen share while sitting at my desk. So let's see. I'll show you how it works. Okay.
Media controls 1401. Media controls to move to the item. Press the arrow. Windows Media Player to move to the item.
Oops, sorry.
Speech on demand.
Okay, Gloria, can you see okay? I hope you guys can see. But here we go.
Okay, so we're going to try the street preview option here, and I'm actually going to do it, I'm going to explore Jefferson Boulevard. So I'm going to go to my location.
Current location button. Back location details. Heading near Jefferson Boulevard, 0 feet. Near 43 Jefferson Boulevard, Warwick RI 02888.
Okay, so that's where we are now. So I'm going to scroll all the way down to street preview.
Save as marker. Start audio beacon. Soundscape street preview left parent beta right parent button.
Okay, and here we go. Double tap.
Getting things ready. Ellipsis. Starting street preview at Elm Street and Cypress Street. Near Jefferson Boulevard, 55 feet. Cypress Street, heading northeast. Go.
Okay, so this feature you should definitely try to use with headphones in, you want to make sure you have the left headphone in the left ear and the right headphone in the right ear. So I'm going to spin in a circle. I'm going to turn my body in a full circle, and you can hear how things move based on where my phone is facing and the direction I'm facing.
And if you are wearing headphones right now to listen to this presentation, it might be helpful to put both headphones in, and it may allow you to hear what's happening in the video. I don't know if Zoom changes that though, so feel free to give it a shot and see.
So it's as if I was actually standing outside on Jefferson Boulevard and not sitting in my office chair.
Cypress Street, heading northeast.
Okay, so I'm facing northeast.
Next intersection, Cypress Street and Jefferson Boulevard, 240 feet.
Okay, so it tells you what intersection is coming up. I'm going to keep spinning.
Elm Street, heading northwest. Next intersection, end of road, 175 feet.
Okay, so that's the end of the road. And as you can tell, some music starts to play as you come across a street that you can actually walk down. So I'm going to keep spinning.
Cypress Street, heading southwest. Next intersection, Service Road and Cypress Street, 35 feet.
Okay, keep going. I'm going to make a full circle.
Cypress Street, heading northeast. Next intersection, Cypress Street and Jefferson Boulevard, 240 feet.
So I actually want to explore what's down Cypress Street. So I'm going to hit go, and it's going to virtually walk me down the street.
Go, button, go. Approaching intersection. Jefferson Boulevard, goes left. Jefferson Boulevard, goes right.
And I actually want to take a right down Jefferson Boulevard and see what's down the right side. So I'm going to turn my body to the right until I hear that street coming up.
Jefferson Boulevard, heading south.
Okay, so Jefferson
Next
Boulevard.
intersection, Service Road and Jefferson Boulevard. 135 feet.
So Jefferson Boulevard is now in front of me, so I'm going to hit go again.
Go. Turned right, now along Jefferson Boulevard. Approaching intersection. Service Road, goes left. Jefferson Boulevard, continues ahead. Jefferson Boulevard, heading south.
And I'm going to go one more time and see if I can find anything new.
Go. Continuing along Jefferson Boulevard. Approaching intersection. Jefferson Boulevard, continues ahead. Service Road, goes right. Jefferson Boulevard, heading south.
And I'm just curious to know if there's anything to my left since nothing was announced. So I'm going to turn my body to the left and see. Nope, nothing to my left. But behind
Jefferson
me
Boulevard, heading north.
is Jefferson Boulevard again.
Next intersection, Service Road and Jefferson Boulevard. 120 feet.
So that is a demonstration of the street preview feature.
Any questions so far?
Will it announce places?
It does, yes. With Street Preview, it does not. So with Street Preview, it does not announce places as you're virtually walking down. But but when you're using it in real time and actually, exploring with Soundscape running, it will announce places that you are approaching. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Good question. Thank you, Carrie. Okay. Okay. Do we have any other questions before I continue? Okay, so I'm going to quickly explain what you're going to encounter.
I have a question.
Oh, yes.
Say the destination was like in front of you. Like I go to I don't know if I'll use Soundscapes, but it sounds pretty awesome. But I think it's something that I'll use in the future.
Mhm.
I'm just in awe right now. But anyway, say the destination is like right in front of you, right?
Mhm.
And what will it do?
It will do its best to announce the destination that's in front of you. If you have a beacon on that location, so let's say you want to go to Cold Stone Creamery because I've got ice cream.
The place that I go to is like Central Nail, so I could like put a beacon there.
Yes, you could locate the Central Nail Place, open up the location that you find, and then hit, set a beacon. And so as you approach it, you'll hear the sound begin to chime in front of you. If you had both headphones in, it would begin to chime.
Oh, that is absolutely awesome.
Yes, it's fantastic. So if you can give it a shot at some point, I would recommend it. So thank you.
Excuse me, Mary.
Yes, Richard.
Stupid question.
Not
Now,
stupid.
beacon. Can you set that to items? Like if I go outside to my trash cans and
That's
try to
when I
find
would
my
use
way
a
back into the
bookmarker.
house.
Right, I would use a bookmarker for that. It's called a marker, Richard, and you can set markers for any location. So if you find that sometimes you need to find the trash can better, you can stand by the trash can, set the marker, and hopefully the goal is that next time you go out to use that marker, you'll go and it will play a sound directing you to that.
Well, I don't have a trouble getting to the can, but I think sometimes on my way back, I get turned around and get lost coming back because I got to go up the deck, into the front door.
You could set a beacon or a marker for your house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
marker and that's inside of this Soundscape?
Yes.
Or okay, excellent.
It's
Thank
built
you.
into the Soundscape app. You're welcome. And all this stuff is going to take some fiddling around with. You're going to have to go and explore. All of you are going to have to go and explore with it and see, what you can discover with it. Some things you may like, some things you may not like. So fiddle with it and see what you like. But I'm going to explain quickly what happens when you open the app. So when you open the app,
Mary?
Yes, Molly. Oh, hi, Molly.
Hi. I'm so sorry I was late. I had a client call go a little bit late, so I apologize.
Okay.
If you already covered this, I will listen to the recording too. But how good does your like cellular connection need to be? Because I know a lot of people live in neighborhoods where, you know, the cell connection is not super great. Like, do you really require a strong internet connection for this?
I know you require at least some internet connection. I don't know that it can function offline. I don't think it can work without internet connection at all. So you
Okay,
will-
that's what I thought, but I just wanted to check in case there was some magical.
I'd say you
magical
would want at
solution.
least 4G, at least 4G
Okay.
if you can manage
Okay,
that.
thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
So I did
I'm
notice
sorry,
that there's,
Mary.
Yes.
Another question I just thought of. I'm getting Bluetooth hearing aid, and I think that just works on one side of your hearing aid, correct? Do you think? And well, my question is, the Bluetooth hearing aid works just off of one side of the hearing aid. So therefore, instead of having, the bone conduction, can you have the directional just in one earpiece? Like if I just wear my left earpiece,
Yes.
will
you
it give
could,
me the
Richard.
directional left, right,
You could. Are you going to be wearing hearing aids in both ears or just one?
I normally wear just one earbud all day when I'm
Okay.
operating my device.
It will.
So I'm used to it.
Yes, it will obviously give you the same audio feedback. You just may not. You just may miss that something is coming from your right side or something is coming from behind you to the
But
right.
will the right side announce in my left earbud though?
It may.
that-
You will still hear it. It will just be a little fainter because it will be coming from the right audio channel.
Yeah.
So you'll have to
So
try it, Richard.
there's no way to. Yeah, there's no way to set it up to give both directions in one earbud.
I will check
basically.
the settings for you, and I'll let you know.
Yeah.
so there's only in the street preview it always will have music like that.
It has that music sounding as you turn and come across a street that you can navigate on. Yes.
Right.
And I didn't find a way to shut that off, so unfortunately
I see.
that's always there.
I did notice it made little like swoosh noises and things like that, but I was trying to listen for like actual like Foley sounds to see like what would come up. But
Nope, those are the only sounds that you would hear for street preview.
I see. Interesting. Thanks.
Good question.
I have a question.
Yes, Ned.
If you're in a residential area,
Yes.
will it give you the numbers of the houses?
It will
See?
not.
It will not. Okay.
Unfortunately, and that's why if you are looking for a specific residential area, I would recommend running Google Maps on top of it.
All right. Good. Thank you.
Yep.
I'm sorry. You said bookmark, right? I can bookmark my house.
Yes, you can.
If I'm gonna, I live on a dead end street, so if I care to walk down to the woods, and walk back, I got maybe 10 houses on the left.
Yeah.
I can bookmark my house.
Yes, you could.
Okay, excellent.
Yep. Yes, John.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mary.
That's all right.
I was thinking of another app besides Soundscape, but I could have sworn that I was using Soundscape, and I could have sworn that it did give the numbers of the houses.
It could have. It could, honestly, John, it could. It just doesn't in my neighborhood. So Ned, you will have to give it a shot in your location. In my neighborhood, it did not give me any house numbers.
Excellent.
I'd like to know that, John, if I may, that software.
Oh, the app that John, you think you're talking about?
I think it was my app, my Maps app. That's
Okay.
what it was.
Yeah,
All right. Thank you, John.
You're
could
welcome.
be.
Alrighty. So let me, I'll just proceed really quickly and then we can continue with more questions towards the end. So when you open the app, you are primarily going to be swiping left or right through the different options. So the first thing you will come across is the search field. And the search field is where you can type in a location, a particular address, a particular business that you're trying to go find. So that's what the search field is for. Then there's a button that says places nearby. And if you double tap that, or if you double tap that or just tap it if you're not using VoiceOver, you are presented with a list of nearby locations relative to your current area. And you can select any of those locations and interact with those locations as you will. The next button on that home screen, on that beginning primary screen, is the saved markers button, and that will give you a list of all of your saved markers. Then you have the current location button, and that button gives you information about where you are, what street you may be on, and that it just gives you a kind of a little summary of where you're standing. And then if you continue to swipe down, there's a heading that says, "Here are my surroundings." That is not a button, that is just a heading. And underneath that heading is the My Location button. And if you double tap that button, Soundscape will announce your current location and any relevant information, kind of like the last one we spoke about there. The Around Me button, if you double tap it, Soundscape will play in 3D audio any locations that are in the 4 quadrants around you, so north, south, east, or west. The speech comes from the direction of the location it is mentioning. So if there's a nail salon behind you and to your left, that's where the speech will come through if you have headphones in. And another example, if there's a DSW shop behind you and to your left, that's where the voice will come from. The Ahead of Me button allows Soundscape to speak any locations that are ahead of where you are facing. The Nearby Markers button allows Soundscape to announce any markers that you have saved if they are nearby. So those are the different options that are in the app. Okay, so when you are, so let's say you've searched in the search field for 43 Jefferson Boulevard, and you've opened up 43 Jefferson Boulevard from the searches. In every location's page, every time you open up a location, you have a few options. So this is how you interact with that particular address or business. So when you open up 43 Jefferson's profile, I guess you want to call it, profile or page, you have some options, and they are save as marker. So that means you can save this particular address as a marker. You're interested in walking here at some point. That's not, later on. Start audio beacon, and that will allow you to, I want to walk to 43 Jefferson Boulevard. I've started a beacon, and now it's going to play a tone in the direction that 43 Jefferson is in. So 43 Jefferson is behind me or to my left. That's where the beacon sound will start to play. And you can kind of follow that beacon along. Soundscape Street Preview. So if you wanted to explore 43 Jefferson Boulevard virtually without actually having to be there, you could press Soundscape Street Preview. And then there's a share location button. So if you wanted to share that place with a friend, you could text it to them or send it to them in an email. And then the last button is open in external map. So if you were to double tap that button, you would be given options to open the address in Google Maps or Maps, Apple Maps, whatever application it allows you to use with it. So that is what you can do with in address. And the last slide that I will highly emphasize here is that you have to have very good orientation mobility skills. You cannot just, say, I don't really know how to cross streets safely, but I'm just going to run this app and hope to God it's going to take me to my favorite coffee shop. And here's why. You will not be getting information on what side of the street you should be on. So if your coffee shop is to your left and you're walking down the street, you're going to need to know that you're going to have to cross the street to your left safely and walk up that side of the street to find your coffee shop. It's not going to tell you that. You're going to have to know that. You still need to know and to decide when to cross the street. It is not going to tell you when the traffic light changes. It is not going to tell you if there's a car crossing in front of you. It's not going to tell you what kind of intersection it is. It's not going to explain it. Oh, it's a T intersection. As far as I'm aware, anyhow, it may do that for certain locations, but not when I've been playing with it. It also does not alert you to potholes, obstacles, curbs, and it may not identify parking lots. So there are some things it will not tell you about. Again, it's just going to identify things that it can find with a GPS. So it will not help you find obstacles or avoid obstacles. You will also not receive turn-by-turn directions. So it's not going to say, okay, take a left down Jefferson Boulevard to get, and walk 10,000 feet more. It's not going to tell you that. So you're going to have to either know where you're going or run something like Google Maps on top of Soundscapes. And so those are some reasons why you should definitely have good orientation mobility skills while using Soundscapes. And some final kind of bits to mention here are, you can use Soundscape without voiceover because it has a built-in voice already in it. So if you're not a voiceover user, you can still use this app without it. You can actually choose from any of the iOS voices that are available to you. So if you like the way voiceover sounds, you can make it your voice for Soundscape as well. You can adjust the rate and all that kind of stuff. So if you're not a voiceover user, feel free to play with Soundscape as well. And Ned asked me a really good question yesterday. Sorry to put you on the spot, Ned. But he asked me.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Shout out to Ned. He asked me if he could use Soundscape without headphones. And the short answer is yes. The long answer is you will not get the
Moreau.
Join the meeting. Get the same type of feedback if you don't use headphones, but you will still get all the street crossings that you're coming across. You will still hear, where things are, and beacons will still play for you as well, but you'll have to turn your phone and listen to the way the sound changes in order to understand what direction the beacon is if you don't have headphones in. So the short answer is yes, you can use Soundscape without headphones on. It just may be a little bit different, but it's definitely doable. So don't stress if you don't have fancy bone conduction headphones or you don't have good Bluetooth headphones. That will allow you to hear the environment around you as well. So, it's heavy stuff. Does anyone have any questions?
Yep, question.
Yes.
Will they add the turn-by-turn directions in the future? I feel that it would be a really good feature to have in that specific application rather than having to use the Google Maps.
I completely agree with you. I don't know if they will add it in the future. All I know is that it seems that their intention with Soundscapes is not to be a turn-by-turn app. It's meant to be a way for you to explore things around you and areas that you want to kind of preview virtually. So it doesn't seem like they will, but I'm hoping they will because I agree that would be very useful. Good question though, Carrie. Do you have any other questions?
Maybe I have one.
Yes.
If you're in a mall and there are all these different stores to your left and to your right, will it announce those?
Great question. I don't think so, but you can try it, Ned. Mm-hmm. I haven't gotten a chance to go to a mall to play with it yet. So I don't know. There is another app that I'm not really going to go into here. It's called Good Maps, and they're trying to do that kind of thing, Ned, where you can navigate within a building. And it's going to be one of those things where you have to, they have to work with the building owner to allow them to install beacons and stuff in the building. But again, I don't know if this app will do that for you. So if you get a chance to go to a mall and play around with it, please let us know what happens, as I'm very curious. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, no problem. Any other questions? If not, I'm going to show a little video of somebody using Soundscape. For
Mary Abby, this is Angie.
Hi, Angie.
That question. It does not tell you the name of the stores.
Bummer. Okay, thank you, Angie. Have you gone to the mall and tried it? I'm assuming. So I'm assuming, yes, she went to a mall and tried it, Ned. So I guess there's their answer.
I guess so too.
Which I'm kind of sad about. But keep an eye on something called Good Maps. They're trying to work with indoor navigation as well. So.
All right, good.
Thank you. Any other questions for me? Okay. So I'm going to show you guys a quick video.
I think the turn by turn would be helpful. I agree with you and Carrie there.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right. All right, here we go.
Share. Media controls. Windows Media Player. Microsoft Soundscape enables anyone to hear your world around. Speech on demand.
Soundscape app, which is an application that allows anyone with low vision or visual impairment to be able to have mobility and independence. And to help me do that, I have Amos Miller
with, a dog.
With me to really give us a real demo of this application. Amos, do you want to describe Soundscape?
Soundscape is really cool, okay? Using a stereo headset, it lets a person who's blind or low vision hear where the landmarks are around them in 3D. And in this way, they can build a richer awareness of their surroundings and feel more independent and confident to explore the world beyond what they know.
It's pretty cool. So it's kind of like it paints what's around you in sound.
That's exactly what it does. Shall we try it out?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, so you have the headset on.
Yes, I have the headset.
And you start by pressing around me and just listen to where the landmarks are and tell me where you're hearing them.
Around you. On a smartphone.
Park.
295 feet. Microsoft building.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Feet.
Soundscape effectively takes the same map that you have running on the phone and plays it in 3D sound. Isn't that cool?
That is so awesome.
With Soundscape, instead of turn-by-turn instructions, we will place an audio
Susan.
building 34 so we can
Join the meeting.
So this app knows how to rendezvous with that beacon.
Exactly. So
Okay.
we'll set the beacon.
Okay.
Okay, there's a button to
And
set
so
the
should
beacon.
I also do the same?
Yeah, do exactly the same. And
Yeah.
on the top of the list, you'll see building 34
Yeah.
access ramps.
I'll do
There's
that.
access ramp.
Yeah.
Okay. Access ramp. And on your right ear, you'll start hearing a clicking sound. Can you hear that? Let's turn towards the way you're hearing the beacon.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's completely centered, and you hear a bell sound that tells you we are pointing at building 34. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, of course, we can't walk. There's a road on the way.
That's correct.
So let's walk along the road and find a place to turn right.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Straight on. So you can hear the beacon on your right as
Yeah.
you walk along here.
So I know that I'll have to at some point turn right.
That's right. So I'll start cueing the dog to find a crossing. Ever find a crossing? You might have received
Yeah.
the
And in fact, I got
intersection
even.
announcements.
Yeah.
Okay. Ever find a crossing? So you really work together with the app as well as the dog in this case.
Yeah.
Are we safe to cross?
Yes, we are.
Ever forward. And now, as the beacon straightens
so
up
cool.
right in front of us, you should be able to hear the beacon right in front, which tells us that we are walking in a straight line towards our destination.
Yes. But the interesting thing here is this can be useful for anybody who's in a new space, even if you're fully sighted.
That's right. This is inclusive design in action.
Correct. Yeah, because as you said, you land up in a parking lot or you land up in a campus that you don't know anything about. And
Just
obviously in
place
our
the beacon.
campus, our buildings are not numbered in sequence. Very helpful.
Good boy, Trevor. And we are at the access ramp.
That's right.
Good boy,
That's
Trevor.
awesome.
Good boy.
That is really awesome.
Fantastic. That
Thank you
works
so
well.
much, Amos. This is such a wonderful work. Where can people go get this app?
People can get the app for free on the iOS App Store in the US, in the UK, in Australia, and we're working to get it to other countries as well.
It's awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And it's such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Smiling, they shake hands. Microsoft.
Any questions? That was a pretty fun video in my opinion. I had a good time watching that one.
Everybody get a little better understanding.
Does that make a little bit more clarified? Does it give a little bit more clarification as to how Soundscape works? It's kind of a fun app. You'll have to kind of play with it to fully understand. But did we baffle all, John, Gloria? I'm glad. It seems like we answered all your questions.
Everybody's still muted.
Hey, Mary Abby, it's Susan,
Yes.
I've got a question.
Yes.
Do beacons and markers make the same sound or are they different?
So what happens usually is you set a marker. So for example, the Dunkin' Donuts store, which I keep going back to for some reason. And then later on, when you want to go to that marker, you open up the marker and you hit start beacon and you use the beacon to find the marker. Does that make sense?
Okay, so they're the same sound.
Yes.
A beacon and a marker sounds just like, okay.
So basically, but the sound in the video, I think they've changed it since that video came out, so it might sound a little bit different than that.
And, yeah.
So
And can you choose your own sound for beacons and markers?
I don't think so.
Or is it
Susan.
just, okay, all right.
Unfortunately. But check it out because I think they've changed that sound.
Is that video on
Okay.
YouTube? 'Cause I missed a lot of that video. I was having trouble with my phone.
Yes.
Oh, cool. I'll look it up.
I will
Thanks.
send a link out at the end of this presentation to that video. And there's another video that I can share as well. There's a few
Sounds
videos.
pretty cool from the little that I heard, though. Thank you.
Yes, it's awesome. Any other questions for us? And if you are, going to go play with this app and check it out, please join the discovery session in a few weeks and let us know how your experience was while using it. I'm really curious to know how you find it. So
When is the discovery session?
our next discovery session is, I will tell
It'd be
you.
the 30th.
30th? Yes, the 30th of March.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yep. So if you're not registered for that, please shoot us an email. We will register you and make sure that you can attend.
So just to let everybody know, the next workshop is March 23rd, and it's on customizing voiceover gestures. And then after that will be an AP discovery session.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. This was really interesting. I'm excited to listen to the recording since I did miss a big chunk of it, but what I did hear was really awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Molly. I'm
Thank
happy
you
to
so
send
much
that
for
over to you.
Yeah, this was really great. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, there's a lot to take
Thank
in.
you.
But fantastic.
Yes, thank you guys for joining us. It is a lot, so make sure that you can, play with it and explore on your own time, and make sure that you feel comfortable with it. And let us know if you have any questions and need any support with that. We're always here.
Good. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank
may
you.
Have a great day.
Thanks a lot, guys.